So this is our modified Olson face mask. Patterns are readily available to download from our website or on the internet. We've included all the links below. It is washable because it's made of 100% cotton, and because it's 100% cotton you can wash it at high temperature, and by doing so you sterilize the outer face mask itself. So you need to air dry it overnight, or if you're in a hurry, steam iron it to dry faster, and also that secures it by way of sterilizing it. So we know that they don't survive for long with cardboard, 24 hours. So our advice to you now, a method of sterilizing the actual filter, is get some paper bags like these here. And so before taking off the mask and putting filters away to sterilize, we need to insist that you need to wash your hands, and also wash your hands after it too. But once you finish your session, or you want to actually take out the filter, so you take off the mask, and there's instructions on how to do that in the other video, and then carefully, so then you take out the filter, and then this is then ready to either put in a laundry bag, ready to be washed, or put it aside, ready to be sterilized. The filter, you then just basically drop it into the paper bag, fold it over, seal it up, and put it in a dry, warm place overnight. Leave it for 24 hours. Any virus that is on the filter media that touches the actual cardboard or paper would die off after 24 hours. As there's been no studies currently on how long it will last on a material like the filter media, we can only guess that in comparative studies that on the slide I showed previously, that the actual virus doesn't last as long as 24 hours on this type of media. Studies by that SARS on SARS and MERS shown that on material comparable to this, which is J cloth, it lasts about 4 hours, and after that it dies off. Okay, if you're ever in doubt, then basically get extra bags. And you have enough material, filter media, you put that one in there, leave it for 3 days. That's how long it lasts, is viable on steel and plastic. So don't touch that for 3 days. After that, we assume that it is actually sterilized. Use the face mask with different media, filter media in between that time. After 3 days, use that one, use the next one. If it's rotated every 3 days, then you should be able to always be using sterile version of the filter media. That's our tip number 1. Okay, tip number 2 is that get some with extra bags. Have some extra bags, and basically on a day shift you're working and stuff. You have to take off the mask every now and then to have a drink, or either to have lunch. Take it out again. Wash your hands after you've used it and stuff like that. Pop it into a paper bag. Again, fold it up. If you can seal it, that's great. That makes it safer. And then leave it aside. Don't touch anything else. Wash your hands after that. Then you take it back out of the actual bag there, and you can dispose of that bag at the end of the day. Yeah. So during that time, leave this to have it around you during the day. If you're driving around or something, have it in the cab, rather than putting the mask you take off onto surfaces that then could contaminate other people and may potentially last longer on the surfaces. We just advise, just for you, just to always carry a little paper bag around, just to take it out, when you take off the mask, just to put it in there, and then when you come to actually use it out, you can take it out again. That's tip number 2. Next, I want to talk about where you can get these filters and what alternatives are out there if you can't get hold of it. These PM 2.5 filters are available online and from eBay or Amazon, but there's a huge demand for them at the moment, and delivery can be patchy and uncertain and can take up to 2 weeks. And so if you haven't got time and you can't wait for that, then we suggest some other alternatives that's readily available here and now. Okay? If you can't get hold of filter media like one of these, an alternative that's been suggested on the internet a few times, stuff like that, is a paper towel. Simple paper towel that you can cut up and stuff like that will improve the actual filtration factor on this by about 20 to 30%. Two of them into the actual the mass itself will increase it up to about 33%. The mass by itself can capture about 50%. A cotton mass by itself can capture 50% of like 0.3 microns particles. So so using a mass by itself is an adequate level of protection, but you want to improve it a little bit, you can always try that. And the good thing about paper towels, you can throw away at the end of it, and it's cheap and it's readily available. I've heard also materials like Violin, non-woven cloth, and these are also quite good. The only problem with this material is that it's not designed really for face mask filtration and stuff, and so it becomes hard to breathe, and so therefore, you know, these are some of the risks that you have when you're using alternative DIY replacement to face mask filters. But the best one, which has been used by US hospitals to turn these type of masks into the N95 mask, is HEPA vacuum bag filter paper, or HEPA style 0.3 microns filter media. Do not use HEPA filter media from air conditioning units, which may contain fiberglass, but these domestic one does not. They're really not that expensive to buy, and the good thing is they're readily available everywhere now. You can get a box like this from supermarkets, from DIY stores, from online retailers, and there's a pack of 10 of them inside each pack, and it costs less than £10. And each bag like this, when you cut it up to fit into our media, like some that I've done here, for instance, we're here, you can get about 10 of them out of one bag. That's 100 filter medias. And even if you were to dispose of them overnight and not worry about sterilizing it, then that could last one person with one box a very long time. Two big caveat though about this filter media. Okay, research have shown that it is very effective to the same level as an N95 mask, down to the 0.3 microns. However, it hasn't been designed to be used as face mask media, and there is a drop in air pressure as you breathe in. So basically, it's actually harder to breathe because of the tighter weave on this media here. Second thing about this material is that it has no moisture layer, unlike this filter media. It has 5 layers in there, 2 moisture layers on the outside here, the 2 filter membranes in between them, and then a carbon filter layer as well. So that's the moisture layer, that's the filter layer there, that's the carbon, and then another filter layer, then the moisture layer. And what studies have found, and the links are down below, is that after prolonged use, about 3 hours or more, the efficiency of these HEPA vacuum bag material starts to degrade, and not permanently. It's to do with the fact that the moisture from breathing in and out starts to dislodge any bacteria or viruses that might have already been stuck to the actual fibers in this material, and then it becomes aerosols or airborne again, and therefore it can be breathed in after that. So that's the problem with these, because they don't have a moisture layer in between them. What happens is that they degrade as they become more moist and wet over time. So if you are using these HEPA filter media as an alternative for the filter in your face mask, we advise that after about 2 or 3 hours, maybe for a 15-minute coffee break or a lunch break and stuff like that, take the mask off, wash your hands after that, put it in your daily paper bag that you have carrying with you or in a safe area, and then leave it to dry, and let it dry as much as you can during the lunch break, and that should hopefully release a lot of the moisture out of that there, so that the efficiency of the HEPA filter media is increased again. And that's it. We hope you found this useful, and I'm sure there's more questions, but fire me some questions down below and I'll try and get back to you on that. Remember to wash your hands before and after taking off the mask. We encourage you at home, if you're watching this, to check all the website details linked below, and perhaps, you know, follow our patterns or others that's readily available on the internet. Contact your local care homes or charities or key workers that might be working in your area. They may have shortages in supplies of PPE. So set up your own, make a 1,000 mask campaign in your local area. Help where you can. We stress that we're no experts, but all the links on research below. Time is of the essence. And I just want to share with you all the things I've learned while doing the research for these masks, so it saves you time. So we've issued these masks with detailed instruction on how to use them, with clear guidelines to practice infection control and cross-contaminations. Please follow them. If you do have a policy in place, that's great. If not, seek advice. Thank you.